Hi, this is Kamta Geek. Now let's continue our login and sign up tutorial. So let's get started. So what do we have to do is just moving on to models. We have to create a new model. So what is model? Model is nothing, just a representation of data type in the C# format or whichever language you want to use. So now let's add class in it and just name it login. Press enter and here we go. So what do we have to do here is just um, take some variables with data type you want the fields in it. So I'm taking first as username, another one is public string password, string string password, and another one is email, and another one is gender. So we have defined our variables with the desired data type, and now we have to add a primary key. So I'm going to add it as integer type id. Okay, so I'm going to annotate with key by opening and closing braces, square braces, and key, because key is not defined, so we have to inherit its class using the bulb button. Okay, so in our db context we have to define a property of the db set here, public db set. In db set angular braces we have to write the name of model class we have just defined. Now I'm going to name login and get set as of properties. Okay, so we are done here. Now what we have to do is just save it and open package manager console. So package manager console must be in view, project build, no, in view, view, yeah, other windows, package manager console. Now when we are done with the models, what we have to do is just execute some commands. We are going to add migrations. So what migration is going to do is these data convert these data types into database understandable language, so we can interact directly with the database without just doing adu.net or the SQL commands. We can interact it with LinkQ. So what is LinkQ? I can make a video for LinkQ. So I'm going to add migration first. It is taking its time. Okay, we have an error. So what am I going to do is actually I have to put it as properties, not as variables. Okay, so get set. Now let's just copy it and paste it in the lower fields. Get set, get set, get set. Okay, we are done with the properties. Now save it and moving with our command add migration first. Okay, so migration is added. Here we can see the table is the tabular format is created, and now it is ready for interacting with database. it is automatically created when we executed the command. Now I'm going to update the database, and here we go. I think I have mistaken the database spelling. Yes. Okay, update database. Now it's going to be done. Okay, now done. Now we are going to verify that our database is updated or not. Okay, database, tables, and here we are. We have the login. Okay, with the fields we have just defined. Now what we are going to do is add a view. Where is new item? There it is. Now I'm going to add a view, register. Okay, register.cshtml. So I'm going to remove the incoming. Anyways, now HTML tap. It's going to create what HTML tap is going to do is it is going to create the body by just HTML tap. Okay. Now I'm going to create a form. So form ASP controller. What my controller is going to be home. Okay. Now ASP action, and it is going to be register. Now I'm going to close it. Okay, I'm going to use some labels. So label and username. Input type equals to text, and I'm going to close it. Now the most important part, we have to name it here as just we name it in the model. So username, USERNAM, just like the username. Okay, so in this it is not identified by the ID, it is identified with the name, so make sure you must spell correct as with the model. Okay, so I'm going to use a break, and in label I'm going to write username. Okay, I'm not going to create any fancy template. You can use it on your own. So I'm just making the basic page so you can understand how it is going to work. Now password, I'm copying it, and input type password, I think. Okay, name it password, and password P is small. Okay, password copy. Okay, label email. Now input type email and name is equals to email. Input type email and name is email. Okay, I'm going to close it and with the break. Okay, so we are done here. Now label with gender. Okay, so input type no, I'm going to use it select. So select, close, options, and select a gender. In select, I'm going to name it gender. Okay, so option will be select gender, value 1, value equals to. Okay, I'm going to option. I'm going with the male and male here. Female, female. Let's not just go with the formality selected gender. I'm going to be just male and female. You can customize with your own details. Okay. So now input type submit, and our form is going to be submitted. Let's name it with the value register. So value equals to register. Okay, save. And now it's completed. Save it. Now go with. Now let's see what happens. I'm going to press play, start, or whatever you need to go. F5. Okay. Now let's see. First, we will see the login page. We haven't created login page, design login page. We have just created hi, I'm Computer Geek on that. Okay, cross it. So the register page is not going to render because we haven't defined the controller of it yet. So I'm going to define it. So public action result API1 or SULT register, and what I'm going to return in it is view. So enter return VIEW. Okay, view. Okay. Now see what happens. /home/register. If I did that without defining controller, it was going to send an exception. So I had to define its controller first. Now public action result register, and what I am expecting here is the properties of login class. So you can use. So in register, I am going to use login LG as parameter. Login is undefined, so I am going to import using test demo.model. Okay. So that is done here. Now go on register page. Now what am I going to do is here model model test demo dot models dot login. Okay, so login is done. Now I am going to ASP method, which is going to be of type post. Okay, we have an error here. We have two. Okay, save it. Now let's see in home controller. So what am I going to return view is of tab login. If we have successfully registered, I'm going to redirect it to login. So for doing registration, I have to create the constructor here, public home controller. I'm going to receive an instance of DB. So here I took our DB context and context. What it is going to do is whenever we calls home controller, it will create an automatic instance, and I'm going to pass into underscore context so I can use it in the below controllers like register and login wherever I want to like. So $context dot login dot add lg. Okay, if now let's check the model state is valid or not, because if it is not valid, it is going to send an exception. So I'm going to check it first, and then if it doesn't work out, we will just add some message or throw a new exception. So let's throw new exception. What it is going to do is it is going to take us on the page, on new page, on error page. I haven't defined error page yet. You can define your own error page. If any error is going to come, that is going to take us on error page. We have defined in startup class. So context dot save changes. Now what am I going to do is I'm going to http post. I'm going to annotate with the http post method. Now I'm going to run the project. So what it is going to do is okay, we have came to the login page. Now in registration, let's add something. Let's add QWERTY and password. Let's say 123. Email. Okay, QWERTY 123 and email in my email kratos@gmail.com. Okay, mail is right, so I'm going to hit register. Okay, so we haven't redirected to login page yet, so I think we have some problem, but the data is coming right way. Let's close the application for now. Let's see if data comes in it. Right click, show table data. Okay, we haven't gathered that data in it, so I think we are running on some problem. I'm going to come back right in. Okay, I found my problem. We have to return redirect to action. Actually, redirect to action. And now I'm going to name login it with string type. So let's add quotes to make it a string. Okay, and on register page we have to make it method, I think, not ASP method. Okay, and let's add a breakpoint to see if it is hitting this method or not. Quality 123 and kratosmybud@gmail.com. Okay, register. So it is hitting this. Okay, now see in data in LG. If data is coming right away. Oh, okay. ID 0, username quality, ID is automatically generated, so we haven't to worry about that. Now hit continue. And we are redirected to login page. Okay, let's kill it for now. And let's see in Server Explorer that our data is coming or not. So show table data. Yeah, we have successfully inserted data. Okay, now we have to make this a login page. So let's go to login page and delete this hi I'm computer geek. Let's make a body of it. So form and ASP method, no, ASP controller. It is going to be home. ASP method, sorry, action, which is going to be login, and it is going to be of method post. Okay, hit enter. Label, username, input type text, and name it as username. Okay, same with the password. Label password, password, with input type password. Name it with password. P is small. So password. Close it. Add break. And with input type submit. And it's okay. Now we are going to expect model of type login. So I'm going to make a new controller with the HTTP post annotation, opening and closing square braces, public action, result, login. I'm going to expect login underscore login, or just with the small login. Okay, return, direct to action. I'm going to redirect it on register if I have successfully logged in it. So what I'm going to do is where query from, I'm going to use here link you. If you don't know link you, I'm going to make a video on it. Just add a comment below the video where t.username equals to login.username, and okay, we are going to use this ampersand and p.password equals to login.password. Okay, so select the, if these are founded, then we'll get the whole data of it, or we'll get null by adding the method first or default. What it is going to do is fetch the first data if its username and password are matched, or if the data is not found in a whole database, it is going to return us null. So we are going to check it. If query is not equals to null, then I'm going to redirect it to register. It means if user is founded, then I'm going to redirect it to register page, or else I'm just going to return an error message using viewback. So return view. Okay, else I'm going to viewback.message. So I have to close it in bracket, viewback.message equals to username or password does not exist. Okay, I'm going to close it. Now on login page, below form, I'm going to expect a view. So I'm going to, if viewback.message is not equals to null, so what am I going to do is label viewback.message. The message will print if it contains something. Okay, why it is not highlighting? Okay, we have to add an @. Okay, so we are done. Now save it and just hit start. Okay, start it. So let's add QWERTY as username and password as 123. Okay, submit. If it's correct, I'm going to redirect to register page. Okay, I'm on register page. Let's get back and add wrong password and add submit. We have to get an error message. Okay, username or password does not exist. We have successfully created login and sign up pages. If you want to learn more cool stuff like this, please hit subscribe button. Thank you.